Oscar time. It is Pub Talk.
Wait, hold on. This isn't the prediction stream?
23 categories. If I take 18, I will be happy.
I'm going to go one better than Adam. I'm going to say I'm going to get 19 out of the 23 right.
And the pub is open. First things first, leave my wife's name out of your mouth. Okay, so that is the first thing I need to say. The second thing is get a beer.
You just
Put a beer
addressing the elephant in the room.
The pub is open, and so welcome everyone. Welcome to Pub Talk. Pub Talk Oscars 2022 recap, reactions, results. With me, as always, this guy right here is not even looking at the camera. There he is, Mr. Fazessi.
I'm here. I just had to finish something. Sorry. Hi everyone. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm in an Oscar shock. Oscar shock still. I don't know. Me and Adam were talking. I'm like,
but why, Robert? Nothing bad or shocking truly happened at the Oscars at all. So yeah, with me as always, RobFuz from RobFuz. It's good to see you, pal. It feels like we haven't chatted in at least 3 hours.
Blast last night.
Yeah, and of course Brandon from Fantasmic ears from the Film Code podcast. We were joined last night by Brandon's Film Code collaborators, which was Zach and Phoenix, and we had a good chat with them on the Red Carpet Live show last night, which was good fun. How you doing, Brandon?
Man, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. You enjoyed the Oscars?
Oh yeah, man, it was great. I think I did pretty solid this year. Which
great.
I didn't do as good as I thought I did, but I did better than I expected. I'll say that. I feel like I'm contradicting myself there, but
what time did your party go until? Because you had a bit of a party with the guys, didn't you? So
everybody left, I think, at 12:45 in the morning.
Okay, that's cool.
Because as soon as the Oscars ended, we started doing an immediate recording of just like our immediate, our afterthoughts of the Oscars, and just we went on for about 30 minutes there, and then we all finally just ended up leaving around 12:30ish.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it was another Oscars. It was another Oscars that overran, which they promised us in 2021 that it wouldn't happen. They said the Oscars will be much quicker this year. Obviously, 2021 we didn't have the VTs or anything like that. The problem was they didn't play anybody off with the speeches, and so the show overran. And last year it finished at 4:20 in the morning in the UK. So what would that be? 8:20 in the evening in LA, and then this year they said no, we're going to be even quicker. We're going to cut 8 categories out of the live telecast, trim them right down, make the whole thing much quicker. I mean, what time did it finish? Was it like 4:45, something like that? I think in the end.
Your time.
Yeah, it was. And then by the time we'd kind of analyzed and psychoanalyzed everything, I think Kim went to bed. I think it must have been getting on for about 5:30 by the time Kim got into bed, and it was, it was.
Crazy.
I wasn't far behind her. Maybe it was 5:15. Like I wasn't far behind her. I think I went up maybe about sort of 5:35, 5:40, but by the time I'd kind of switched off, it was gone 6 a.m. You know, by the time I was, ready to close my eyes and kind of process everything or at least not think about it until morning or whatever. But yes. Candy Mom in the chat, I've been waiting for this all day. I can't understand why you've been waiting for this all day. I mean, it was a completely uneventful night.
Yeah, see, but I think the most eventful thing was when Amy Schumer dressed up in a Spider-Man costume and fell.
That was kind of scary. I think they just made her look weird. Like, I don't know. It was a weird costume. I don't know.
Yeah. Mr. Fazessi, as you always do it to me, who's in the chat?
Didn't we have this talk, by the way? All right, here we go. Who's in the chat? Well, we got
my bad.
See it if you want. We got Kimmy. We got Grace, A, B, C, D, and E and F. I forgot, almost said the E. We got Samantha Lowe. What's up, Sam? We got Cindy, Candy Mom, Cynthia. Been waiting for this all day. It's crazy. Osmosis, Dark Hell, David. That's DP. Dark DP. David Patrick in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Disney Circus Girl Ray is here. How you doing, Ray? Good seeing you. We got some more people coming in, so come join us. I just tweeted out, hit that like button, share us out. A lot of fun. I'm going to share it out on my channel too. So let's talk.
There we go. Let's talk. So unless you've been living under a rock, last night was the 94th Academy Awards. The 94th Oscars. So and it was supposed to be a return to normal. It was supposed to be a return to the Dolby Theatre, a theatre with a packed auditorium.
What theater was that? What theater was that last night?
That was, I mean, I've never seen the Dolby
that was not the
look
Dolby
like that before. That was
I gotta tell you,
it was a bizarre layout, wasn't it? Because
it bothered Adam half the night, that theater.
It was, I mean, the one thing I always like about the Oscars is it's just got a different vibe to the SAG Awards, which is the table thing, or the Golden Globes, which is a thing of the past. You know what I mean? It's not this kind of table gala dinner. You know, it's a show, and everyone's in a theater, in an auditorium, and there's live performances and great, you know. And don't get me wrong, they kind of kept all of that last night, but I didn't get the table thing. Like, you know, they did it last year when they held the Oscars at Union Station in Los Angeles, and it felt like it did feel like a Golden Globes or SAG Awards. It didn't feel like a normal Oscars. And this year I thought, okay, great, we're back to the normal layout, and it wasn't quite the normal layout we were expecting. They had a stage with a runway, which somebody ran along at one point, uninvited onto the stage, which we'll get to later. And of course, you know, you had the sort of tables and chairs, comfy chairs, kind of layout with little walls, segregating people. But then at the back, it was just all the normal theater seats again. So I didn't, I don't know. It was a strange layout. The show opened with a musical number instead of the traditional host's monologue. It opened with a musical number, which was obviously pre-recorded because it was Beyonce down in, was she in Compton, or I think she was in Compton on the tennis, on the tennis courts, and so that was an interesting start to the show. What did you make of the opening musical number?
You said it was green screen, so I said we could add like a space background and stuff, like they're in space. So I didn't like it. I thought it was a bad beginning. I don't know, Brandon.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to do something with that. Like, everyone's in green. I was like, okay, great. They're going to do some amazing green screen visual effect. No, I think instead they were just all trying to be tennis balls, I guess, because it was obviously the song from King Richard. So, Grace says, weirdest layout ever. Kim says, it's a shame Will Smith wasn't in traditional seating. It might have been enough to keep him seated. Why? Did something happen with Will Smith? I can't remember. So, Grace says, horrible opening. So no, it was an interesting layout. Welcoming Stacey and Stacey Rogers and Noah as well into the chat. How are you doing, guys? Well,
Noah sent me his picks.
Noah sent you his picks.
I'm glad he did picks. You know,
he sent, and John is in the chat as well. Welcome, John.
Hey, John.
And so Noah sent you his picks. What now? Or
last night he sent me. I'm like, he just Dan.
Somebody is on his way, apparently. He's on his way, he says. So excellent. Nice. I'm looking forward to
but Noah did good. I was impressed with Noah's picks.
Awesome. Yeah. Noah, you'll have to obviously get the picks into us next year, and we'll add you to the sheet. The competition sheet, which is it was a very close run competition this year. We won't obviously give away how anyone did yet. That's still to come. But so obviously the show opened up with a musical number, a very generic musical number, I think. I mean, I know it was from the film, but we were saying, and apologies to anyone who's a fan of Beyonce, because, you know, she I mean, obviously a lot of people, Grace and Kim included, sort of said that, you know, they enjoyed Destiny's Child, which was in Destiny's Child, but kind of since those days, a lot of her music just seems kind of almost, all the songs kind of blur into each other, you know, quite generic. And if you didn't know that song last night was from one of the nominated Best Picture films, you'd just be thinking, why have they chosen this song to open the Oscars? It wasn't a stellar, you know, sort of blow your mind, you know, start of the Oscars performance. Like you expect to get. We did eventually get the hosts on stage, and they gave a monologue of sorts for the three of them. I guess it's not a monologue because that would be one person, but they gave an introduction, the three hosts, and then obviously two of them departed. That left us with the opening host of the night to sort of give her own small monologue, Amy Schumer. I know that was a bone of contention for Brandon. So how do you think Amy Schumer did in the end? I know you weren't looking forward to her hosting.
Okay. She did okay. I'll say that. She did better than I thought she would. Like I said, I did better than I thought I would. She did better.
Can I interrupt a second real quick?
Yeah.
On your point, 1 second. Any other Oscar pool, Brandon would have won, by the way. I thought he did great. But I don't know, man. This is a tough crowd, so.
Yeah, see, it was we had a really tough competition here. Everybody was like tying up towards the end.
Yeah, we don't give out the results just yet, but yeah.
Yeah, but like as far as the comedians, like the hosts go, it was all right. I didn't like towards the end where she came back. Like it was funny that she was like, "Oh, did anything happen?" I thought that was hilarious. But and then, I don't like how she just like walked up to Jesse Plemons, pulled Kirsten Dunst away, and like I could see Jesse Plemons getting a little bit angry there. That was.
I don't think I remember that incident, but I think I was just by that point I was a bit sort of. My mind wasn't focused on the rest of the show, and we'll get to why. we will get to why. You know,
I wonder if something happened, man.
Yeah, something may have happened. I'm not sure. But yeah, Grace says, I'm not an Amy fan, but I thought she was funny. Yeah, I thought she did very well last night, Amy Schumer. And, you know, I can't say I'm a huge fan of hers, but no, I thought I thought her small opening monologue after the other two hosts had departed, I thought that was good. And yeah, she handled the addressing the vibe in the room later on very, very well. So yeah, but obviously the first award of the night was presented. We can only fill for so long before Daniel gets here. But yes, the first award of the night was presented, and the first award it's always one of the big ones, one of the ones that we look forward to, and that was for this award. Here are the nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role. Jessie Buckley in The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose in West Side Story, Judi Dench in Belfast, Kirsten Dunst in The Power of the Dog, and Arjanu Ellis in King Richard. So they were the nominees. It was a great category, but I think we all agreed, or most of us agreed, that there was only ever going to be one winner throughout, and that was you know, she'd been sweeping award season all along with the other awards, and that was Ariana DeBose from West Side Story. She'd had a great award season. She'd obviously won at the BAFTAs. She'd won the SAG Award, and so yeah, it was. It kind of seemed a nailed on one, and yes, Grace. Yeah, we need to address this, Grace. Yeah, I let my bad eyesight and misalignment controversially begin. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, Grace did actually put an X in the Arjanu Ellis box, but I do remember on Pub Talk when we were actually giving our predictions on Friday, luckily Grace did say I've gone with Ariana. So we did. Hello, Daniel. He's here.
What's up, Dan?
Yo.
And so yeah, so we did give Grace the Ariana DeBose pick there, and yeah, so she got that one right. Dan, how you doing?
Everybody chug.
Okay, dilly.
I got nothing.
I got a straw. You can't really chug a straw.
I'm having a beer on a weekday.
You're having a beer on a weekday. Well done.
I'm having a Beavertown Laser Crush.
Nice.
Boom.
It sounds tropical.
It's not. It tastes like every other non-alcoholic beer. Hello.
Who's that? He looks vaguely familiar. Yeah. So he looks like a guy who used to be on Pub Talk with us regularly. And
go away. Look, since I got my where is it? Since I got my coasters, I can never be rejected.
Yeah, he's part of the team now. So Timothy Rainwater's watching on Facebook. What's going on? Welcome, Timothy. How you doing?
All the Rainwaters.
Yeah.
By the way, you didn't ask me what I thought of the intro or the host or nothing. I don't know. I definitely have an opinion.
Well, Robert, why don't you take the floor?
No, I just want to say that, like, I don't like the way they try to be hip. Like, they have a DJ. What was that?
That was stupid.
Yes,
thank you, Robert. Like at the end, yeah, and like we're texting each other, like, we're like, there's the orchestra. Wow, like it's a classic event. We don't need a stupid DJ, and we don't need what's his name coming out to introduce the girls. What's that guy's name? I forget. He's a DJ, Khalid or whatever.
Yeah, they were introduced, and then he kind of ran across the stage again. Hold up. And it was just kind of like, let them be applauded onto the stage. The Oscars is kind of it's a classy moment. It's not a party. The party's afterwards. So it was
the one-step stage was stupid, and all the close-ups on the acceptance speeches, they were like up and like here, and it was just so stupid. Like they're trying to be cutty and edgy, and they're trying to cut time and everything, and don't go 50 minutes over when you're trying to cut time. It's stupid. So I was very turned off a lot with a lot of this stuff. So
edgy's not always necessary. I mean, Chris Rock was edgy, and
we still have that.
We don't need to talk about anything else. It's just there's some edginess. So, but Daniel, did you have you recapped today? Because you didn't watch live last night, did you? You had.
I had a school night.
I want to hear how Dan heard about the slap for the first time.
What slap, Robert?
Yeah, what slap?
So
you mean the slap I gave myself when windshield wiper won?
I thought someone was slapping the bass.
We'll get to it. All right,
we'll get to it. But yes, so obviously we the first category or the first award of the night was the actress in a supporting role. It went to Ariana DeBose. She gave a great performance in West Side Story. It was, of course, the same award that the same award as in actress in a supporting role, and the same role that Rita Moreno won this award for in 1962 when she was obviously Anita in West Side Story as well. And Ariana DeBose, she gave a great little speech. It was quite a touching little speech at the end. There is a place for us is how she finished. And it was a great speech. The only people that didn't get this category right were Phoenix from the Film Code podcast, and Ray went with Kirsten Dunst from Power of the Dog, and Phoenix went with Anjanou Ellis. Phoenix wasn't the only person to go with Anjanou Ellis, but Grace managed to kind of persuade us that she actually meant Ariana DeBose, and we gave her the benefit of the doubt. So 23 minutes in, and on the first award, can I put my breakfast order in? Yeah, basically, Grace.
Kind of a long show.
Yeah, basically, Grace, what we're doing is we're making this the same length as the actual Oscars live telecast.
Oh, please not. Please not. I'm only going to be here for an hour.
No, it's fine. So on to the second award that was handed. Onto the second award that was handed out last night, and that was for.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Sound: Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
So
okay,
Dan, that was Dan.
Daniel?
Can I just say, now I rewatched this morning at 6:30 in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was the best sort of award sort of given out in the whole show. Should I tell you why? Because it was Josh Brolin, wasn't it? It was Josh Brolin who gave out the award, and he announced all of them. And then just before he was like, "These are the nominees for sound," and then he belched. He actually belched.
That was weird.
It was so funny. Like, you couldn't have made this even better. Like, it's the fact that it was for sound, and then there was a belch, and then they cut it. I thought that was just the best thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they should do that every year. But instead of like a belch, they'll do like, so if someone's flatulent, and then if somebody is like, I think they need, whenever they do sound every year, they need a different sort of stupid sound that comes after.
Just get the one person whose dinner didn't agree with them, basically. So
yeah.
Yeah. So Achievement in Sound, this is one where all across the board, we all went for the same thing. We knew this film was going to sweep a lot of the technical awards, and and this was the first technical award of the night given out. Sound. Every single person picked Dune, and every single person got it right. And yeah, it was a great film for sound. I'm not sure why Belfast was nominated for sound. I don't think it had an overly strong sort of sound design or sound mixing. No Time to Die, you can understand why that one was nominated. West Side Story being a musical, you can understand why it was nominated. The Power of the Dog, I mean, a lot of the sound there, I mean, they did a lot of the filming outside, so a lot of the sound almost.
I feel like they put the Power of the Dog in that category because they were trying to fill a space.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think Cyrano or Tick Tick Boom, both being musicals, could have been nominated in the sound category.
They could have put didn't things like Shang-Chi came out last year?
Yeah, Shang-Chi was nominated in visual effects, so
they could have been nominated for sound as well because they had good sound in that.
It's really good.
Could well have been, but yes, it wasn't nominated for sound. But yeah, everybody predicted sound, and so most people were on 2 of 2 there. Only a couple of people on 1, but that at least made sure that everybody was off the mark. Certainly within the first 2 awards of the night, and the third award was. Here are the nominees for achievement in cinematography: Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story.
I'm still on the belief that I went with Dune because that was the given choice. I still think West Side Story should have gotten it for cinematography though.
West Side Story, I agree. I think West Side Story's cinematography was superb. I actually really like Belfast cinematography as well, and I wanted to see Belfast get it over The Tragedy of Macbeth, which was great monochrome cinematography. But yes, I agree. Of all the films we saw, I think West Side Story had the best cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nightmare Alley cinematography was good. The Power of the Dog, I mean, they used a lot of wide shots in that to capture, sort of the mountain ranges and the hills and stuff in the background, and the vast, sort of Midwestern landscapes that they, obviously it was a 1920s sort of film set in the West, and yeah, I mean, Dune. It was always going to be between Dune and The Power of the Dog, this award. And that's a shame that West Side Story was out of the running. Obviously, Dune took it as it had done at the BAFTA. Most of us had picked Dune, with the exception of Jim from More Sunshine Please and Ray, who had both gone with The Power of the Dog, and I can understand why they went with that. But yeah, it was, But,
what's crazy is Greg Fraser is going to take it twice in a row, because I mean he did the cinematography for the Batman, and I'm already calling it that's going to get nominated, and I think it's going to win next year for cinematography.
Interesting. We'll watch this space, but there we go. We've got Brandon's pick in for cinematography next year already.
You can't go no backsies now. You got to pick it.
Yeah, you've got to pick it, even if it's not nominated.
You got to commit. Commit.
I'm just doing early predictions here.
Yeah. But no, that was cinematography, and so the next award of the night was given to. Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Short Subject: Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 Songs for Benazir, and When We Were Bullies.
Every nomination, I go. I feel like your fact. No one sees me or hears me, but so awesome.
You get into the moment there, Rob, which is good.
I do.
So yeah, documentary short. A few people got this right. This is the first category of the night where the vote was really quite split. Nobody picked When We Were Bullies, which is interesting because it was as we said on Friday,
that was my favorite.
It was such a great documentary. But one person picked 3 Songs for Benazir, which was Jim from More Sunshine Please. There was 2 people picked Lead Me Home, which I didn't pick it, but that was my personal favorite. I thought Lead Me Home was worthy of the win, and that was Grace and Jonathan Chung. And then 4 of us went with Audible, which included myself and Dan and Kimmy and Ray. We all went with Audible. but no, the prize went to the Queen of Basketball, which
I loved all of them except
Brandon.
the three songs from Benazir. I didn't really like that one, but I really liked all of them. Very cool.
I thought Audible was going to win it, but
I thought Audible deserved to win it. I thought it was. Again, I thought it was going to win it, and that's why I picked it. But I don't know, and maybe that's the Brit in me speaking. The Queen of Basketball is a great story. You know, you've got this amazing female basketball player who was offered the chance to actually join the NBA, which, I mean, that's like seeing a female footballer over here being offered the chance to play in the Premier League. You just don't hear of stories like that. So it's a great story, but power of the dog. So so it was a great story, but yes, I mean, it's not something that we can necessarily kind of relate to in the UK that much, and so for me, I didn't think it would take it. I thought Audible, and especially with the Sound of Metal last year and with Coda this year, and the impetus that was getting, that's where I thought Audible would take this award.
It was just a short Beckham film.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was just a short Bend It Like Beckham. That's it.
I really like I like the New York Times. I like their articles. I like their video and stuff like that. And they produced it. And so as soon as it won, the New York Times sent out a press release. It was kind of cool. I got to my phone, but that was really why I picked it. I really like the New York Times stuff. So I was shocked they'd never been nominated for Oscar. This category.
Yeah, this category, says Grace. And Grace. Ray went with Audible. Yeah. But yeah, so that was the first one to kind of split the vote of the night, and only three people were on 100% after this one, which was Brandon, Rob, and Zach from Film Code as well.
The reason why, I don't know about you, that you went with Audible was because they gave me 1 month free trial.
I heard you.
Right, I was the next award. Oh, go on, Rob.
But I was excited here. I was me and Brandon. Brandon's like, "Yeah, baby, bring it on." He's giving me like, "I'm 5 for 5, whatever, 6 for 6." He got me all pumped. I was doing
and then things starts splitting. I'm like,
it went all downhill from here.
Well, the next award of the night was one that I think everybody predicted, and this was for this award. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Visual Effects. Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Spider-Man, No Way Home. And
this
Brandon,
was the coolest. I'm sorry, this was the coolest list of films that they ever had all night.
Yeah, that was a very cool list of films. And
geeky, set of list of films there.
And a major shock, Brandon did not pick a Marvel film for this category.
Listen, Marvel film. Listen, I love Marvel films as a story, and I just love Marvel films in general. However, when it comes to visual effects, other than Infinity War, it is nothing new that we haven't seen before. The only time it deserved the best, cool, it got nominated. The only time I think it actually deserved the best visual effects nomination was 2018 and 2019 for Avengers: Infinity War as Thanos. They did a perfect job as Thanos on him, visual effect wise. So, if you factor out all the Marvel movies and you think Free Guy, okay, it's good, but it's not great. It's stuff we've already seen before. You have a film such as Dune. Dune was a given. We all knew we were going to take the sweep, sort of, to win this. So yeah, I mean, I can't see how anybody couldn't go with Dune.
Yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, Shang-Chi was good. You know, Shang-Chi was good. But like you say, it's nothing we hadn't seen before. Spider-Man, the same. No Time to Die. I didn't think the visual effects were anything spectacular. It was stock James Bond, and Free Guy. You know, Free Guy was great fun, but yeah, it wasn't mind blowing. Dune was the one that had been sweeping award season with this technical award, and obviously it swept the night. And every single one of us again voted for this film. So well done to everyone.
The 007 tribute was great, by the way.
I love the 007 tribute.
Yeah, the
007 tribute was really good.
60 years.
I love. Yeah, I love coming to the Oscars to see, I'll give you an example, like the Great Movie Ride, that finale movie. I love seeing the Oscars for doing that stuff, and they really didn't they don't really do that anymore. So they did show some of the, looking back, anniversaries of certain movies and everything, which wasn't all great, but I thought the 007 one was the best one. So I just missed that. And you forget too, like last year was in the train station, it was so lame. Right off the bat, Adam's like, wow, they brought back like the video clips and everything. And he was really impressed with that, right?
Well, no, I was just looking forward to it because we were lacking it last year. If you remember when Daniel Kaluuya last year was presented with the award for actor in a supporting role, and Laura Dern presented that award last year, and it was a 20-minute monologue of bigging up all of the supporting actor performances before she even handed the award out. And I was like, we're in for a long night, because normally and the nominees are, and it'll be a VT that's probably as long as the VTs that we're showing here. The nominees are this person, and you'll see like a 10-second clip of each thing, so the whole thing lasts less than a minute, and the thing last year was long. and so I was just glad to. It's also nice to see those little bits, those bits that remind you why this film's been nominated in the first place, or why this performer has been nominated. For
they'll show you the best part of the movie that you need to see. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, Kimmy loves James Bond. Yeah, Kimmy's a huge James Bond fan. She wants to go back through the whole Daniel Craig saga. So
have you not been through them yet before, Adam?
I've not seen all the Daniel Craig Bond films. I've seen the latest. I saw No Time to Die, and I saw his first one, but I've not seen all of them yet. So
Casino Royale is the best James Bond film of all time.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. Skyfall is
no way. Skyfall is just basically an adult Home Alone. It is.
Now I got to see him. So
there you go. Now Rob's interested. Now Rob's intrigued.
I do want to see him.
Everybody got the award for visual effects. That put Rob and Brandon and Zach all on 5, with Dan and myself, Grace and Kimmy and Jonathan and Phoenix all trailing on 4, and then Jim was on 3 and Ray was on 2, but not to be discouraged, because it gets better for Ray as well. But the next award of the night, this one I think was it wasn't a shoo-in. It wasn't a shoo-in, but
you're right.
I think a lot of people predicted this one.
Here are the nominees for Best Animated Feature Film: Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon.
Time out. They played 2 songs from the movie. How is it not a shit?
They played 2 songs from the movie. One of them was their halftime show, which was unnecessary. It's interesting because obviously for another category, obviously best song, we were talking the other day about whether it would go to James Bond or Encanto's Dos Oruguitas, and we'll come to that award later. But the one thing we said was that the song in Encanto that everyone's talking about is We Don't Talk About Bruno. It was interesting because obviously that song wasn't nominated this year. But of course they had to fit it in.
Well, they didn't know that it was going to be the massive hit that when they applied for that song to be for best song. But we're not even there yet, but still.
We're not even there yet.
I think it was obvious. Though the animated films this year were pretty good. Like Luke,
the animated films were very good this year. Flea was a great.
Flea was great. Mitchell's vs. the Machines, that was good.
Should have won it, in my opinion. I think the Mitchell's vs. the Machines.
I don't know.
3 Disney films. You had 3 Disney films there.
I liked Raya too.
Encanto was vibrant and colourful. Yeah, Raya was vibrant and colourful. Luca was great, but I thought Mitchell's vs. the Machines wasted a lot of them. I thought I put Disney to shame this year, and I would have loved to have seen it win. Evidently it didn't, and I think in any other year Flea wins an award, given it what it was nominated for, but again that was the one that Brandon went for.
I shouldn't have gone against Disney, man.
Brandon shouldn't have gone against Disney. He lost.
It's not that category.
This is where my streak ended.
This is the one where I think this was like for me, I was pretty sure Encanto was going to win, because if you just look how popular the movie is, because it was that good.
And it's so recent too. Like
it's
this,
so
Raya
recent.
the Last Dragon came out like last March, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong,
over the
Flea was
summer.
amazing. Flea was great, but
Flea
there was
was
no way Encanto was going to lose. No way.
Can I tell you too? Well, 1 second, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam sent a picture of his spread over at the pub. Oh my God! If I want to party, I'm going to his house. Jeez.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you could show a picture of that spread you had. It was unbelievable. Maybe on your phone or something. But
if I can, yeah, let's see.
I'm like, I mean, are you sick yet, Adam, from eating all that stuff? Popcorn,
no, just
Pringles.
just.
He had this huge spread. It was unbelievable. I don't know how he's skinny
or whatever.
If I can find it.
Charcuterie or whatever how you call it.
Yeah, he had a charcuterie tray, whatever.
Charcuterie.
Okay, look at his spread, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this.
Is that that was the before photo.
But you got to remember too. This is like 4 a.m. They're eating this stuff. That's the even crazier part.
It started at sort of midnight. So 11 o'clock midnight we start.
And then I said, Adam, you send an update on like how much you ate. They ate a lot. They did damage. They did damage.
And then so we did get through quite a lot of it. A lot of fizz was drank last night. So so this morning I didn't feel the freshest. But
fall asleep.
Yeah. It's interesting. So Brandon was just saying he lost in this category, so his streak was gone. This left him on 5, while Rob and Zach jumped onto 6. It is worth saying though, this was still very early in the night, and by this point, Brandon did point out that he'd already got more than he got last year, because last year he had a very bad year. So yeah.
Wait, how many did you get?
Last year, Brandon got 4
overall.
Overall, yes.
Yeah, last year was not a good year.
Last year, Brandon had a terrible year.
I didn't get a chance to watch a majority of the films, so I just went with whatever last year. This year, I actually did my research and actually put in work.
Is there another movie franchise that's been around that long?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
And then Daniel?
Fast and Furious.
Even if it wasn't, you just wanted to say it. So.
Yeah, the best one was definitely Mitchell's.
James Bond's like 30-something movies. And Fast and Furious 9 are on or something, aren't they?
Yeah, so, they just had Fast 9.
Days of Our Lives is almost at 60 years.
Doctor
Who. Stacey said, "Is that a KFC bucket?" No, it's a popcorn bucket, or a
hey, Walt.
Pyrex one. So, yeah, but Walt from Bless You Kim. Yep.
Hey, Walt.
What's up, Walt?
Yeah, Walt is in the chat saying, "Hello, everyone. The Oscars were definitely providing some slapstick entertainment last night." I've got no idea what you mean, Walt. Yeah,
I didn't know Walt was such a good way with dad jokes.
So, hello, Rob. I'm having my free popcorn and my soft drink at work today. Welcome, Mr. Fulton. So, Stacey thinks it looks like a KFC bucket. Brandon went with his heart last year, as we were just discussing. Yes, he did. Sorry, welcome to the pub. Sorry about my sneeze. And God bless you, Kim. So, okay, I think we're all up to date there. So that was the animated feature, and obviously following on from the animated feature.
Here are the nominees for Best Animated Short Film: Affairs of the Art, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin Robin, and The Windshield Wiper.
This was such BS, man.
I'm literally watching The Windshield Wiper now. Because I was, if you watched Robin Robin, it's such a great animated movie. And I'm like,
Robin Robin is a great animated movie.
Windshield Wiper, what the hell's that? And Adam's like, it's a great short. I'm like, it
is a nice short. The Windshield Wiper is a lovely short, I think.
And art looks amazing, but it was just weird.
Robin
more nudity.
It's
just weird.
Yeah, Robin Robin has the star pull with Gillian Anderson and Richard E. Grant in it. But yeah, I mean, Affairs of the Art, that was a very bizarre piece that I wasn't a fan of. Bestia, which Jim went for, was even more bizarre, and the less said about it, the better. Nobody voted for Box Ballet, and I actually really enjoyed Box Ballet as well. I thought it was a beautiful little story. Yeah, Robin was the clear favorite amongst all of us because, with the exception of Jim, who went for Bestia, everybody went for Robin, with the exception of Grace, who went for the windshield wiper, and the windshield wiper was, of course.
This is the category that threw off everybody's ballots, man. Like, because I thought after losing animated feature, I was like, okay, I could just recover by winning animated short. And then freaking windshield wiper wins. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
It was, I'm working at the movie theater. Nice. And welcome in, John, as well. Welcome, Surfman.
What's up, John?
John? Yeah. So windshield wiper, which I've noticed that Rob has just amended the title in our spreadsheet to the windshield wiper sucks. It doesn't suck. It was a great film, and I did enjoy it. I did think Robin was going to win. I would have liked to have seen the windshield wiper or Box Ballet take it, and evidently the windshield wiper did. I just didn't think it was going to, so I didn't vote for it. But there we go. But yeah, so that was the first of the shorts of the night, and then we went back into one of the bigger categories, and that was the other supporting performance.
Here are the nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role. Ciarán Hinds in Belfast, Troy Kotsur in Coda, Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee in The Power of the Dog.
Grace put the windshield wiper. I watched none of them. I thought the name was funny. I randomly picked it. Great job, Grace. ABC.
Well done, Grace. That was a good random.
Used to win because you like their uniform color.
Yeah, Kim went with I went with a favorite on that one. So obviously now we're on to Best Actor in a Supporting Role, which was Ciarán Hinds in Belfast.
Did anyone not think this guy was going to win? Who picked?
I think with the exception of Jim, who went with Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog, and Jesse Plemons' performance was great. In fairness, it was a great performance. The one that was being talked up at the start of award season was Cody Smith-McPhee's, also in Power of the Dog, but his kind of momentum tailed off. J.K. Simmons is always a great actor, and he's great in anything he does. But this wasn't going to be his year. And like I say, Ciarán Hinds, I don't think was in Belfast enough to even warrant this nomination personally. But his performance was great in Belfast, but I just don't think his character was prominent enough. So Troy Kotsur, Coda.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Yeah, that's both ends. Yeah, and that's the applause.
His speech was awesome.
The applause in sign language. Yeah. His speeches throughout all of award season, the SAG Awards, at the BAFTAs, his speeches have been very, very good. You know, he adds in the right amount of comedy with the right amount of seriousness and grace in accepting his awards. And his performance
in Coda.
Well, he's always been a background actor, but obviously he's never been a prominent actor because of his ability. He was the first ever deaf nominated male actor, and obviously the first deaf winner. And his performance is beautiful. Kim rewatched Coda today, actually. And his performance, I mean, it just gets you in all the feels. You know, that moment where he holds his daughter's hand, and asks her to sing, and he sort of, you know, he goes for the vibrations, you know, and that's how he actually communicates with his real life daughter as well. And it was just, it was an absolute beautiful performance, and it's a real moving one. It's great comedy and great emotion.
He definitely deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 100%. He definitely deserved it. And,
he definitely deserved it.
Did I tell you sometimes when you watch? I'm ignoring it. Sometimes when you watch a movie from A to Z, you know, you watch the movie, you reflect on it, and it's cool that Kim, you went to go see it again, because like now that you kind of see where the movie goes, you kind of look for different things when you watch it again, I think, and I definitely want to see it again. So it's worth the $50 for the Apple Plus membership. Just that.
Yeah, did you guys know that Troy Kotsur was actually in The Mandalorian?
Was he?
Because I don't know if you, Adam, I don't think you saw The Mandalorian yet. The there's an episode in season 1 where Mando goes to Tatooine and he runs into some Tusken Raiders, and they do a lot of sign language with the Mando. That's how they communicate. And Troy Kotsur was actually that actor.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. And like I say, I did know he'd been in some other things, but just never as prominent. But yeah, I'll look out for his performances in Mando. And do you know what? I look forward to seeing his performances in more things now, because that was one of the things about Coda is they wanted to bring to the fore that these deaf actors are just as able as any actors with their hearing and intact, and they gave some really good, powerful performances. And yeah, like we say, Troy Kotsur completely deserved this win. So yeah, okay. The next, Kimmy says it was great a second time. Yeah, it was. I caught part of it today, and it was great. Okay, the next award went to.
Here are the nominees for Best International Feature Film. Drive My Car, Japan. Flee, Denmark. The Hand of God, Italy. Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom, Bhutan. The Worst Person in the World, Norway.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's all good. This was, this was one that again was a shoe-in. We kind of all knew where this award was going, even though that's not to discount the rest of the category and the brilliance of them. The Hand of God, an Italian film. It was a good film. It was a little bit weird in parts, but on a lot of films, not just international films, on a lot of films, a lot of strange in parts. Flee, a documentary, animated international film, and it was a real powerful subject. Difficult watch because of the subject content, but it was a good film. The Worst Person in the World was a good story, and Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom was probably the least favorite of all of these in the category. I wanted to see it win because as the underdog, because I thought it was actually probably my favorite of the lot. But Drive My Car from Japan, a really well told story. Obviously was nominated for 4 awards, including directing and adapted screenplay and stuff. A very long film. Rob, you found it was quite a long film, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got some of these
3 hours.
When you watch 50 of the 53 things, like when you get to these, they're like 3-hour, movie in Japanese. You got to read the subtitles, and they're a little weird. And yeah, there's one of the ones I didn't watch was Yak in the Classroom, which I actually think I'm going to watch. So I only have 3 to go still, and I think I'm going to finish the course and watch the last 3. But Worst Person in the World, like you said, was a great movie. It's just they're not the easiest movies to watch. They really are. But unfortunately, Drive My Car had the advantage because it was up for Best Picture too. And it's just, you can't not pick it because it's just that's a shoo-in. It's a given. Up till now there wasn't one surprise in my maybe that what's it called, the Robin not winning. There was not one surprise in the night up until here. So.
Yeah, and regardless of the length of the film, it's worth saying that it's not. I mean, Power of the Dog is a long film, and it's long. Yeah.
If it was 2 hours, it would have been much better.
As Wanda Sykes joked, was it Wanda Sykes or Regina Hall joked that I've watched?
Oh my
it 3
God,
times.
that was the best joke in the. It was Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes. Yeah, I watched it 3 times. And I'm only halfway through it, and which was the Power of the Dog. Drive My Car was actually quite easy to watch. I mean, it's got a long 40-minute introduction before the opening credits roll.
Yeah.
But
that was bizarre.
Like 3 hours.
Wait, rewind that. 40 minutes. Well, I don't think it was 40 minutes. I think it was like at least 20-something minutes into the movie. Then the credits came on. It was just bizarre. So
it was actually 45 minutes into the film.
Okay, 45 minutes. He was right there.
Emily.
That was weird. Have you ever seen that before? I've never seen that before. Hi, Emily.
It was as Kimmy just said, the intro to Drive My Car was 40 minutes. Yeah. So
you know what a good stream would be? Bottom line, Adam, a good stream to watch would be the best of the Oscars. What to watch and what not to watch. That's the title. And we'll go through all the fun stuff that we saw. If you want to do another stream, I'm up for it.
We could do that.
So,
we can set that one up.
But I gotta discount Adam because he'll tell you to watch every single one. So they got to be.
It's not that I will tell you to watch every single one. It's just that your constructive or lack thereof construction in your criticism is that movie sucked. That movie sucked, and it's I take the positives from each of them. Whether I'll watch them again, and Kim and I were discussing this before, even with the Best Picture nominees, I will happily watch Coda again. I know you guys weren't.
Hell yeah! What about Coda? Was my favorite movie out of the whole list. Coda was the best movie.
Yeah, I will probably watch Don't Look Up again because I found it.
Dan, you like Coda the best, right?
Coda was the best film.
Yeah, hands down.
That,
and I think Brandon agrees. Yeah.
So
totally don't agree.
But yeah, like The Power of the Dog, I don't need to see again, and I wouldn't just put it on. Belfast, I probably don't need to see again, even though it was not a bad picture. So there's films I would watch again and films I probably wouldn't. So yeah, it sucked. Rob's favorite line of this movie season and every. So yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, so Best International Feature, Where to Drive My Car. Did you watch it, guys? Dan, Brandon?
We talked about this earlier this week. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
Brandon watched it the other day.
I watched all of the Best Pictures.
Dan didn't get around to this one, but that's
Dan,
fine. So
do not bother. You'll thank me.
I wasn't going to anyway.
Good. Yeah, don't bother.
Okay, back to one of the shorts, though, from the longest film at 3 hours and Drive My Car. Back to the shorts. Here are the nominees for Best Live Action Short Film. Alakachu, Take and Run. The Dress. The Long Goodbye. On My Mind. And Please Hold.
I don't even remember what I picked.
This was actually a really good category. You went with The Long Goodbye, down in this one. So this was a real good category. Alakachu, Take and Run was quite a difficult watch. It's a story about how young girls are kidnapped out in the Middle East, and basically they're kidnapped and forced into a very early young marriage. This actually happens, and it's obviously it wasn't a documentary; it was a short film, just highlighting the plight, a bit like Boys in the Hood highlighted some of the social problems of its time. This was highlighting issues out in the Middle East and what goes on still in this day and age, which is tragic and shocking. It was a difficult watch, but a very good film. The Dress, The Dress was a Polish film highlighting a lady with dwarfism trying to find romance. Takes a bit of a dark turn. It wasn't a fan favorite of ours. Rob and I watched it together. The Long Goodbye had
out of all the films to watch together, I'm pretty sure you guys regret watching that together.
Yes. The Long Goodbye had obviously star quality behind it because it had Riz Ahmed, who was of course in The Sound of Metal.
Very tough to watch.
A very intense film, but a short one. On My Mind was a beautiful short film. I would love to have seen the award gone to On My Mind, or Please Hold, the last one, which is a really fun one, a really fun film with a bit of a social commentary to it.
Yeah.
I loved those last two, On My Mind and Please Hold, but we all voted, or most of us voted for The Long Goodbye, with the exception of Jim, Ray, and Jonathan Chong. Just because it had the star pulling power, and it did, of course, it did take it. So
unless you're freak like me and saw all these, you don't know. These are just so tough categories. So, what'd you say, Brandon? Sorry.
It's Riz Ahmed. That was a given.
Yeah. Come on, move on.
just over to the comments.
Move it on.
I think it's just everybody saying hi to each other. So there's no actual comments about the live actions. Welcome Isaac in the chat as well. But yeah, so the next award of the night was a given, I think, and that was this one. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Costume Design: Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story.
Your voice is so soothing. I think that's what's making me so tired. I love that soothing voice.
Well, I'll record you a story.
Thank you. This one was amazing. Like, you watch the clips from all these movies, you're like, wow, great costumes. Wow, great costumes. Wow, great.
The costume design pool this year. Cyrano had good costumes. Dune, okay. Nightmare Alley, yes, great costumes. And West Side Story were stunning. They were so vibrant. And I think in another year, West Side Story takes this award, but not when it was up against Cruella, which obviously won the award. Everybody went for Cruella. You would have been a fool to have backed anything other than Cruella in this category. Yeah. One of my favorite films of the award season, actually, Cruella. So
I was so nervous because there was a rumor flying around that best costuming was given out as the early awards, and people were passing around that Dune won it. I'm like, oh no, and then they televised it. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, I managed to avoid the spoilers. I think Kim saw a couple of the spoilers on Twitter, and that infuriated me that the Academy had the goal to do that. We're gonna
they did it like the BAFTAs. No,
like the BAFTAs did. Yeah, so we're gonna cut these awards out. They're not worthy of making the live telecast. But no, we're gonna put them in the live telecast. We're just gonna trim them down. So they kind of backtracked on what they said, and then they just tweeted out the results to ruin the live telecast for everyone anyway. Which is disgusting.
Stupid.
And I'm not a fan of doing that.
I'm gonna pull a RobFuz.
Okay.
Cruella sucked.
I completely disagree, but
I
know you weren't a fan. But no, I thought Cruella was a great film. Yeah, I did enjoy that one. Kim was unsure about it because Kim is a huge dog lover.
It's more of the fact, how are you meant to be rooting for this person, and like this is meant to be a prequel to the 101 Dalmatians film. How can you get from someone like that at the start of this movie, and even by the end of this movie, and how has she had such a change to where she becomes the most psychopathic, person in 101 Dalmatians? The only character that's a villain that was done right, that you felt so bad for going that way, was Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. That you could get along with because you know where he's going to, and actually by the end of the movie he is the Joker, whereas here I felt like this was like Cruella, like diet Cruella, like it wasn't like,
diet Cruella.
It wasn't
Cruella Zero
from the 101 Dalmatian film.
Yeah, see,
you can't believe that she's going to kill 101 puppies and make a coat out of them. You can't believe that from her.
I think they just tried to take the Maleficent route. I think they tried to take the Maleficent route. Sort of tell it from another perspective. She, it's clearly she's misunderstood. She wasn't trying to kill all these puppies. She was just kind of threatening to us. So I don't know, and I guess we'll get the answers to that in the sequel because Emma Stone has signed on for a sequel.
Oh, because there's a sequel before the prequel and the 101 Dalmatian film. What are they going to do?
Yes, yeah. Before Emma Stone becomes Glenn Close. So
in the space of what? 2 months? 3 months?
I don't know. I'm not one of the producers,
garbage.
All the script writers. But before Dan gets
that's the Dan brand of the night.
Before Dan becomes Will Smith, we will.
Hey, puppies.
Yeah.
Hey, puppies.
We don't, propose any form of animal cruelty on this show. That is not what we do.
It's just fake.
Yes. No. So the next award of the night, and these were two awards coming up now that would shape the rest of the night, and we were looking forward to these. So the first one was this one. Here are the nominees for Best Original Screenplay: Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World.
Can I just say, Don't Look Up is the biggest piece of garbage I've ever seen in my life.
It's terrible.
I enjoyed Don't Look Up. It wasn't my favorite film, and I don't think it wasn't my favorite film, and I don't think it was a Best Picture contender.
I will say over the last maybe 5, 6, 7 years, anything with Meryl Streep has been complete and utter garbage. I'm sorry, it's just been awful. Like, she was terrible in the film Prom. She was terrible in this. Like, she just performed awfully in this film.
Like you didn't like her at all. Like I guess that's the point, but like not liking a character is one thing, but you didn't even like her as an actress in this.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I didn't like Joffrey Lannister in Game of Thrones, but I loved how awful he was. I hated Meryl Streep's character in Don't Look Up because of how awful she played.
I got what you said.
Don't Look Up was garbage.
Yeah. See, Ray said that she thinks the film is awful, but she chose it here because it was the most original of all the films she's seen over the past year. There certainly is that. So no, who picked Don't Look Up? Jim and Ray picked Don't Look Up. King Richard, Zach picked that one. Rob dropped his first point of the night. So Rob was on double figures by now. He'd gone 10 for 10 up until this point. Oh no, he'd already.
No, I didn't get that animated short.
Sorry, he was 10 for 11 at this point. Yeah, he was on 10 for 11 at this point. And he went for Licorice Pizza, as did Brandon, which allowed me to tie up with Rob, and as did Dan as well. We went for Belfast. Yeah. I thought, as Belfast was one of the contenders early on in awards season, then it had to win something, and this was most likely its best shot. It's also worth pointing out that Belfast, of all of the Best Picture nominees and all of the films that were done, Belfast was the one with the most dialogue as well. So
I thought Belfast was going to get the big,
gives it an extra nod
donut. So I didn't think it was going to win, but
yeah, no, Belfast. I mean, that gives it a nod when it comes to writing. The fact that Belfast had the most dialogue. So
I really thought this was one of Paul Thomas Anderson, man.
Yeah, I did wonder whether it would, and that's kind of. I thought this one was one of those knife edge ones which could have gone either way. I think Paul Thomas Anderson had won this award in other award shows. I think Kenneth Branagh had taken it at the BAFTA, so that's kind of what swayed my way with the Oscar. And so Belfast was the winner.
He absolutely deserved it.
Yes,
Kenneth
it was
Branagh. The amount what he's done for the industry, just.
Well, he's the first person to ever be nominated for 7 different awards categories. Yeah. Not in the same year, of course, but he has had both original and adapted screenplay nominees. He's had supporting and lead actor. I think he's a short film directing and producer. So he's done it. Well done to him. He's done pretty much everything. Obviously, the writing awards normally go hand in hand. So after original screenplay, we had.
Here are the nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay: Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog.
And this is the one that was kind of the most eagerly anticipated early award of the night, because you'd kind of get a feel of where the Academy was at with its voting. Later on, by how this one went. This was a tough category. I mean, Dune obviously was nominated for a lot of things. The Power of the Dog and Dune were the two top nominated films, with 12 for Power of the Dog, 10 for Dune. Obviously, both in this category. Drive My Car, a 3-hour long film. So again, to turn that into a script, a 3-hour long script, that's got to get some plaudits. And The Lost Daughter was. A lot of people like that film. I wasn't a huge fan of The Lost Daughter, but a lot of people do like that film. And so, they appreciate that one. But Coda takes this award. The only 2 people to get it wrong were Zach and Mr. Fuzz, Mr. Robert, and Mr. Fuzz. So
I was, in hindsight, Coda and Belfast, Belfast was okay in my book. Coda was incredible. I should have thought that better. Like they were, and my prediction was they were going to spend. They did. They spread it all out, but unfortunately, I thought Power of the Dog was going to be a little bit more powerful there. But don't forget, Power of the Dog is my least favorite movie of probably the entire thing. It probably would have been one best short for 15 minutes if it was a 15-minute movie, but
the last 15 minutes,
it was not, unfortunately. So, but go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. For me, I saw this going to Coda. I feel like Adam said, most of us saw it going to Coda. This was honestly a heart choice for me. And I also thought I also thought it was going to win it anyway, so it worked hand in hand. But yeah, like Adam was saying, this is what swayed the rest of the rest of everyone's predictions the rest of the night of just it going to Best Picture because
it gave it hope. It gave it hope.
Definitely gave it hope because it.
I'll be honest, I was like,
They got
the wrong Best Picture.
Yeah. But all three of the nominations it was nominated for, right?
Yeah, well, you just spoiled it. But I didn't care if Coda. I didn't pick Coda, but if it won, it was to me. It was whatever. I lost. I don't want to ruin anything, but it. I was happy. It won this category, 100%. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So the next one, this was going to be a 50-50 race as well, and that was for. Here are the nominees for music. Best Original Score. Don't Look Up. Dune. Encanto. Parallel Mothers. And The Power of the Dog. So obviously Encanto, which had... Oh, wait, what's Brandon added? Yes.
This was the picture Hans Zimmer posted. After winning.
Hans Zimmer, there. Wasn't he? Was he in Holland or somewhere like that?
I think he was the only person not there. Literally the only person.
Lin-Manuel Miranda didn't make it as well.
He's never there.
Lin-Manuel Miranda didn't make it as well. And obviously, he was involved in Encanto.
Yeah, so his wife got COVID.
Yeah, that's right. So he was isolating. But yes, Hans Zimmer. I think he was in Holland. I could be wrong.
Whose wife had COVID? Hans Zimmer or
Lin-Manuel Miranda's.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I think all of us, with the exception of Jim, went with Hans Zimmer there. And so Ray, Disney Circus Girl Ray, this is the point you overtook Jim from More Sunshine. We went on to 7 here. Jim was on 6.
Good job, Ray.
Yeah, good job, Ray. Yeah, so Hans Zimmer took this one, which, like I say, everybody went for with the exception of Jim. And it was a great score, Dune. So it was always going to be between Dune and Encanto, which is obviously what Jim went for. Don't Look Up. I don't overly remember the score from Don't Look Up. Parallel Mothers. I can't say terrible. I can't say I really remember the score from Parallel Mothers. I really enjoyed the film, but I can't say I remember.
What was terrible, the movie or the score?
Everything.
Or both. And then I did not like that movie. Someone here liked it and picked it, by the way. But okay.
Yeah, Johnny Greenwood, The Power of the Dog. Johnny Greenwood is from Radiohead, I believe. And he was involved in 3 film scores this year. Obviously, got Oscar nominated for The Power of the Dog. But I think Ray. I think when we were talking about this a few weeks ago, I think she said that she thought this film might Power of the Dog might take score, but obviously, I think Hans Zimmer was too strong, and she did go with Hans Zimmer in the end. So, okay, the next film category was. Here are the nominees for achievement in film editing. Don't Look Up. Dune. King Richard. The Power of the Dog. And Tick, Tick, Boom.
Can I just say, why wasn't Tick, Tick, Boom nominated for way more stuff?
Yeah,
it should have been nominated for way more stuff. Yeah, Kim and I both. Yeah, it was a very, very, very good film. It should have been nominated, arguably, for sound, possibly even score, or is it an original score? That's the problem, So maybe not score there, but maybe that's why it didn't get a song nomination as well. Because it's always best original. But yeah, it's certainly when it came to sound, Tick Tick Boom should have been nominated. It just got editing and best actor nominees. The editing, I thought Don't Look Up's editing was great.
Really?
Dune obviously was superior. King Richard had good editing. The Power of the Dog, okay. But Tick Tick Boom's editing was superb as well. And I did think if anything was going to take editing away from Dune, it would have been Tick Tick Boom, which is the one that Brandon went for, actually. Jim went with The Power of the Dog. Everyone else went for Dune. Joe Walker, and yes, obviously Dune took that one. What did you think of the editing for Dune, Dan? Excellent. Rob?
It was
I
good.
just thought Dune was going to win everything.
It was.
It was going to win all like the technical awards, like
That's what I
sound,
predicted,
visual
yep.
effects. Like it was going to win all the technical awards. Like it wasn't going to win like best actor or whatever it was, but all the actual production of the film, it was going to win.
Yes, it was a technically brilliant film, Dune.
We're almost at the end of all the Dune. How many awards did Dune win? Or you want to talk about that?
I can't remember. I've not totaled it up, but obviously when Dan says the overall production, that ties us in with. Here are the nominees for achievement in production design: Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. And of course, this was.
I like the segue there. That was good.
Thank you. Yeah, this of course was another technical award that most of us had predicted. Dune. I think Ray had gone with The Power of the Dog, as did Zach. I wasn't convinced Power of the Dog would win production design. I mean, they basically went into an open, vast landscape. So there's not much production design there. West Side Story, Jim had gone with that, and I can see why. The Tragedy of Macbeth and Nightmare Alley were the other two production design nominees, and I think Nightmare Alley, worthy of its nod. It's production design on Nightmare Alley was great, but Dune again, the sets and bringing these new worlds to life and things like that.
I counted 6 awards, and that's the most, right? They won the most awards for any movie. Like I said, I predicted
6. 6. I think we said it at 6.
Yeah.
Welcoming Kyle. So Kyle,
what's
Kyle
the success? Well. Like obviously it did. Hey Kyle, obviously it didn't win Best Picture, but it won 6 awards, man. You can't flinch at that. So
no, it was kind of the big winner of the night because a lot of the other ones were spread out. But we'll obviously get to those at the end. Could you imagine if West Side Story beat Dune? Yeah, I mean that's the thing, it's when it came to obviously these technical awards, and then Dune's technical excellence, shall we say, shone through. But yes, there was. Let's have a look after this one. Okay, so this is. Oh no, hang on. We have.
You don't have them in order, so but I think this is around the time.
So wait there. So we have this award, which.
Here are the nominees for achievement in makeup and hairstyling: Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci.
Now this one split the pack a little bit with Brandon and Jim going for House of Gucci.
I switched. Remember?
Did you switch?
I did.
I didn't remember you switching from House of Gucci.
I switched to Eyes of Tammy Faye. It's on the. Should be on the thing.
Okay.
It's just as controversial as last night.
Okay.
Still didn't win, Brandon. Sorry.
I changed all my answers to the correct ones.
No, I really did change.
I remember him saying it.
In the spreadsheet, it does have you down as with an X on House of Gucci, but that's fine. If you did switch, we can sort that out.
Because I remember mentioning it on the Pub Talk this past Friday. I said switch me.
Okay, that's cool.
But we're having new rules into place next year, by the way. So
I wasn't.
I'm going to be the commissioner.
We'll get everything in by the actual Friday of Pub Talk next year, and not over the course of the weekend and stuff like that. Right. But yes, Cruella was Zach's pick, and Coming to America was Phoenix's pick. Everyone else went with The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and I think this one was a shoo-in. I mean, the hair and makeup was about 10, maybe even 20% of that movie. So, to change Jessica Chastain and bring her Tammy Faye to life.
No surprises.
So yeah, Grace has backed you up here, Brandon, and I think that's because she needs backing up in the Ingenuellis versus Ariana. So Grace is
Grace said Brandon predicted there was a slap going to be at the Oscars. She said that earlier. So
so obviously Tammy Faye won.
Come
this
on,
one.
Brandon, not even a flinch. It's a joke.
A deserved award, and then the next category was going to be the documentary feature.
That's where.
But there was an incident that happened in the presentation of this award. So obviously, former Oscars host has hosted previously on more than one occasion, but the last time being in 2016. Chris Rock took to the stage, and as is true to Chris Rock's nature, he cracked a couple of jokes, and there was an incident that happened. So Rob is showing us what his magic band. But yeah, so obviously, if you've not seen the incident yet, you must have been sleeping under a rock. Will Smith came up on stage. He took offense to a joke that Chris Rock had aimed in the direction of Jada. It was probably an ill thought out joke. I don't think there was malice intended in it, but that's not to defend. Like a lot of people have kind of looked at what he was poking fun of, and if you psychoanalyze it more, then we could be here all night. But then obviously Will Smith got up on stage and slapped Chris Rock, and then before he sat back down, he laughed. Yes, this is the thing. He laughed at first, and the camera cuts away at that particular moment. So Chris Rock makes a joke, and his joke is in reference to Jada Pinkett Smith's hair being shaved. So she's given herself a buzz cut. Now, the reason behind that is actually she suffers with alopecia, which I've heard in something since, and I don't know the credibility of this, but someone that has spoken to Chris Rock since has said that Chris Rock didn't know that she suffered from this condition. Now, we can take that with a pinch of salt because we don't know the full ins and outs of it. I don't claim to be an expert, and I don't claim to know these people personally. But apparently Chris Rock wasn't aware of this situation. He made a reference to the head shave by saying, G.I. Jane 2, I can't wait to see the movie. And Will Smith laughed at this joke. Now, the camera cuts away, and then Chris Rock continues speaking. And it's a few moments later, Will Smith decides, actually, that's not cool. And I don't know whether that's because he's looked at Jada, and Jada on TV looked visibly sort of angry, upset.
Right.
She rolled her eyes and she wasn't happy. You could see that. And at that point, Will Smith decides that, okay, that's not cool. Now, there are ways and means of handling this. If somebody makes a joke and it offends somebody that I'm with, you can stand up and you can vocalize, whoa, that's not cool. Or you can get up and, go on the offensive. And that's what Will Smith did. I don't think it was the best way to handle it. I think Will Smith lost a lot. Somebody else said it to me today. One of my friends from LA that I was speaking to earlier today said basically within the space of around 20-30 minutes, Will Smith had his career low moment and his career high moment. And we'll get to that in a bit.
It was staged.
It was definitely not staged.
I believe it was.
I guarantee it was definitely not staged.
Right? He physically assaulted somebody, right? Now, if this was anybody else, he would have been arrested straight away. Security would have come on stage. He would have been arrested. Why didn't the Academy do anything to stop him getting his, spoiler alert, his award, right?
Because
if this wasn't, he shouldn't be let off scot-free if, for any reason. He should have been arrested for assault.
The LAPD were actually made aware of it, and they said, okay, we've been made aware of the incident, but the person on the receiving end didn't wish to press charges. So that's basically, but it was definitely not staged, because it wasn't even, whenever there's anything that is staged at the Oscars, there are always rehearsals for it, whether they actually have the stars involved at the time or they have fillers in ready to do it. They always have these moments rehearsed. And the people that were there at the Oscars said this was not.
I thought you were about to say he slapped him twice.
That would be funny. But look, I look up. They were in a movie together. They did promotion. They knew each other.
They knew each other. And Chris Rock said, Jada, I love you. And he kind of made a joke. Like I say, it was ill thought out. I think this is one of those debates that's always going to run. You just have to look at social media. You just have to look at social media, and a lot of people are saying, no, Will Smith shouldn't have done this. A lot of people are saying, I'm with Will. You can't go saying things about somebody's wife, you know, you've also got to look at maybe, you know, there's a lot of things said about about Will and Jada's marriage, and a lot of that they kind of handle themselves and sort of, you know, bat away any comments or criticism or whatever quite happily. But this is something that clearly affects Jada on a personal level.
Can I just say,
there is the slap moment.
Can I just say, Will Smith does a better right hand than Hulk Hogan ever did in WWE.
But by the way, we're watching it. It goes silent. I'm texting Adam. We're going back and forth and everything. And Adam's like, they didn't censor it here. Like in the UK, he saw the full thing. There's no.
Well, yeah, they muted it.
Everything.
They muted it, everything out there. Yeah, that's the thing. When you watch the full video with the full audio,
Japan too,
and Will Smith's reaction when he sits down, and you can sense the blood rising in him more when he, you know, after he shouts, you know, to leave my wife's name out of your mouth, and then Chris Rock just kind of says, "Well, I was just making a joke," and then he repeats it even louder and angrier. You know that's not fake.
Yeah,
you know?
that's where I don't think it was arranged, because
it got really awkwardly quiet in that room.
Why would you arrange that right before you know you're going to win the Oscar? You know, spoiler alert, but like, why would you curse it and jeopardize your career? You know, it's just bizarre. It's just bizarre.
You know what's going to happen to him now? Because he got into a fight and his mum got scared, so he's going to move.
Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, it's even worse that his son tweeted, "That's how we do it." After, yeah, what message does that send? Yes, Kimmy, you're right. So his son, obviously, his son's going to kind of obviously fly the flag for defending his own mother. I get that, but you don't want to send out a message that, you know, because like other stand-up comedians have said today on social media, that, you know, how do you, you know, what does that mean for the rest of the world in stand-up comedy? You know, can they not make stand-up comedians make jokes at the audience expenses sometimes, you know, just to kind of burn a bit of time? You know, can they not make a joke now at the risk of now being assaulted on stage? It's, you know, like I get that Chris Rock's joke was maybe, like I say, ill thought out and insensitive, but there's a way of doing this, and Will Smith didn't handle it well. You know, be an adult and talk about it backstage and just kind of say, that's not cool. You know, I think you need to apologize. That's fine. And obviously, when it came to apology, Will Smith didn't issue one directly to Chris Rock. He did issue one to the Academy, but I think that was just trying to save face. But yeah, that's it. Kind of left us stunned for the rest of the night. So yeah.
Totally took the steam out of everything.
Before you guys jump into something else, I don't know if you guys saw the private chat. I gotta go. I think Dan also said he has to go, so I gotta get running. Dinner's on the table, so I gotta get running.
Okay, no worries, Brendan. Thanks for popping in.
Thanks for having me on.
We'll run through these last awards very, very quickly. Dan, if you're able to stick around, great. If you've got to go, I completely understand. But yeah, Brendan.
When you say very, very quickly, is this an Adam very, very quickly or a very, very quickly?
It's an Adam.
It's a...
Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Feature: Ascension, Attica, Flee, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, and Writing with Fire.
As quickly as I can, very quickly. Yeah, this one was... Go on, sorry.
It just sucks because literally Chris Rock presented it to, you know, the winner is just...
Which was Questlove for the Summer of Soul. Questlove. But by this point, the whole thing was completely overshadowed. I think everyone was sat there like, what has just happened? You know, the next few awards were a complete blur. I don't really remember them. Obviously, there was this one, so Summer of Soul, which won. It was a great category. Ascension, Attica was great, deserved more. Flee, and Writing with Fire, okay. But Summer of Soul was a great documentary. 50 years of footage that had been hidden for 50 years. Was a great category. But so Summer of Soul, that moved our scores on to 18 for myself. Grace was in the lead with 19, and Kimmy was on 18 as well. But yes, the next category was...
Here are the nominees for Music: Best Original Song: Be Alive from King Richard, Dos Oruguitas from Encanto. Down to Joy from Belfast. No Time to Die from No Time to Die. Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days.
Okay, this was a 2-horse race, really, wasn't it? Nobody went with King Richard. Nobody went with Down to Joy from Belfast. Nobody went with Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days, which Reba McEntire song and was a great song. Reba McEntire sang, rather, and was a great song. But this was always going to be between Billie Eilish's No Time to Die and Dos Oruguitas, which, Dan, you went with that, didn't you?
Yeah, because I didn't like No Time to Die.
Yeah. Jim and Phoenix also went with Encanto's Dos Oruguitas. The rest of us went with No Time to Die, and that was the one that won it. And I think you almost always, if there's a Bond film out, almost always, that song is going to be in with a shout.
Yeah, that was my biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, but that puts us on the.
I said it 4 or 5 times. I thought I was impressed with you, Dan, this year. You said you paid someone to do your picks, so I was impressed.
Yeah, I did. I owe him a lot of money.
Yeah. So, Stacey wanted Encanto to win this one, but was very happy for Billie and her brother. Yeah, it was a good category.
That song from Encanto was that great. I'll just be honest with you.
Had it been We Don't Talk About Bruno, then maybe it could have been a different result, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but that leads us down to the 4 big awards of the night. So starting with this one, which I think was an absolute shoo-in.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Directing. Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. Steven Spielberg for West Side Story.
I've been mispronouncing a lot of these names all season, and thank you.
Pronounced Spielberg.
Yeah, well, that one.
Yeah, Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog obviously took the win here, and for 2 years back to back, we've now had a female director winner. When we only had only the second ever female director win last year for Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. This year, Jane Campion became the first lady to ever be nominated twice in the Best Director category for an Oscar, which more history made. Another female director. It'd be great to see more of them get nominated because she did a great job. As much as Power of the Dog wasn't necessarily the most exciting film, she did direct a technically stunning masterpiece. It's not the most gripping, exciting, action-packed film, but yeah, like she did well.
If it was an 18-minute short, it would have won Best Short, hands down.
But, yeah,
I'll save everyone time. If you want to watch Power of the Dog, fast forward to the last 15, 20 minutes and watch from there, and you'll be good. You didn't miss
Spielberg obviously became the first person to be nominated in 6 different decades. So yeah, that was superb. Well done, Mr. Spielberg. Ryusuke Hamaguchi, who directed Drive My Car, directing a 3-hour-long film is deserves credit as well. And he could have taken that in another year. Obviously, Paul Thomas Anderson, Kenneth Branagh directed good films, Licorice Pizza and Belfast, respectively. But I think they were also brands in this particular category. We've kind of touched on this one already, given the conversation we just had a few minutes ago, but that was...
Here are the nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role. Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos. Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog. Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom. Will Smith in King Richard. And Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Not Denzel's best performance, I don't think.
He was so cocky last night. Excuse my language, but I don't know. He just seems.
He's Denzel, and he's great. He's a legend. So, I don't think Tragedy of Macbeth was his finest moment.
You shouldn't be so proud of that movie because it was horrible. Yeah, it sucked.
Benedict Cumberbatch was great.
High School Musicals were better. Go ahead, Dan. Hold on.
Yeah, go on, Dan.
I'm gonna make a big shock.
Go on.
I would like to retract this point from my score.
You'd like to retract this point from your score? Okay.
I do not condemn anybody who should be assaulting anyone on television, and I do not.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing, Dan, but we lost anyway, so don't bother.
I don't care. I am not supporting a person.
Okay, take it off.
So
pick someone else. Go ahead. We'll give it to you.
Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm choosing Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
His performance was great. Benedict Cumberbatch's performance was great in.
It doesn't matter, but I am not putting my name associated with somebody who. Yeah.
This is obviously
it doesn't matter about it. It doesn't matter about this competition, to be honest. Like I do not want to put my name associated with somebody who hits.
I get it. I swear to God, I was going to say the same thing, Dan. I agree with you.
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to say. Is obviously we do this competition for a bit of fun and what we think will win, and obviously we'd all voted for Will Smith because his performance was great in King Richard, obviously, no doubt. But as much as we were getting down to the wire here, and I was like, I need points to catch up to Grace and Kimmy. All right, we'd all kind of voted for this one anyway, for Will Smith and King Richard. But I actually messaged Rob and I said, I hope he doesn't win now. And maybe it was just kind of the anger of the fact that Will Smith had kind of stolen the night for the wrong reasons. If he'd stolen the night with the fact that it was his first Oscar win, after being nominated 3 times, but it was his first ever Oscar win, great, well done. But stealing the night in a kind of almost, it was as shocking as the La La Land Moonlight thing, the mistake from a few years ago. But it just made the whole thing eerily uncomfortable and awkward.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just left a very sour taste in the mouth of for a night that we were all looking forward to and celebrating. Rob and I watched over 50 films and 53 films, everything that was nominated. It was exhausting, it was great fun, and it was like, okay, this is the pinnacle. This is, we're going to see all these films sort of congratulated and acknowledged for all of their achievements of filmmaking. And then Will Smith does that, and it just kind of left a very sour taste of the glitz and glam thing that everyone's celebrating. I agree. Yeah, I wanted to see Will Smith lose it on account of what had happened on the stage with Chris Rock. He did. He did give a speech, an emotional speech. He cried. He kind of apologized, not to Chris Rock directly, but he apologized.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was talking about sort of love makes you do crazy things, and I think that's an absolute worst excuse you could possibly give, because if that is the case, right, you're meant to be loving everybody, and supporting everybody. There's no need to at any point put a hand on somebody, right? He completely contradicted what his actions, and I think his speech was trying to cover up what he did, and I think it was pathetic. So I mean, Kim said his speech really angered me. Yeah, it's. We will move.
Stacey, he assaulted someone. I'm sorry, Stacey. I know Stacey feels the other way, but you don't assault someone. You don't curse. On a national TV. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought the joke was way out of line. It was horrible. You don't say that thing. I thought Chris Rock.
I mean, he could have said something. That's fine. Like he could have. There's a certain line that you can't cross.
You could argue about this for weeks. I'm not on Chris Rock's side. I'm not on Will Smith's side. But I don't think what Will Smith did was the right thing.
He could have just gone on stage. He could have just gone on stage and taken the mic and just said, "That was really offensive. Please don't do that."
Please apologize. Please apologize.
He could have just done that. Cool. But there is no way you put a hand on somebody. He's just put all the blame. He literally took. I do this with my children. Basically, not my children, my actual children, my school. Right?
Congratulations.
Thank you. If somebody has done something wrong, you don't retaliate, because then you have taken that blame from that person and put it on yourself, and it's equal. Right. You just let that person have the consequences. That didn't happen. He decided to retaliate.
Yeah, like Ray says, not on anyone's side of this argument. All were in the wrong. And
if a seat filler did it, if a seat filler would have did it, they would have tackled him. He would have been arrested in jail for 30 years.
Joke was out of line, but comedians have been doing that for a long time. I respected Will more to take the high road and done it. Yeah, I will have respected.
I agree, Cindy.
Will more exactly. He should have taken
no right or wrong. I'm not going to argue with Stacey for the rest of my life over this, but it just
not with millions and millions of people.
Yeah, it's not the right way to handle it. I'm sorry.
And like we
defending
say,
your wife is one thing. I agree, 100%. Defend
Yeah.
your wife. Do it not. Don't say the F bomb twice. Jump up on stage and slap someone like that. But my thing is too. I just showed pictures of Chris Rock.
Yeah.
I'm not even 1 second. Jada Pinkett Smith. They knew each other. He made the comments in the past. I believe that wasn't it. It was other things between them.
There was other things bubbling on
other
there.
things, and that was the cherry on the top. So
I don't think it's necessarily a history with Chris Rock and Jada and Will or anything like that. I think it's just that a lot has been said in the press and around the world about Will and Jada's relationship and how and I think Will Smith's kind of shied away from it for a long time, and I think something was bubbling under there to come out.
Right.
Unfortunately, it came out at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
Yeah, it wasn't the way to do it.
For Will Smith because he, I felt he did deserve it, but after that,
he totally deserved
my
the
initial
Oscar.
reaction. And Adam, I hate to say it, Adam, but our initial reaction is we wrote him off. I'm not supporting that guy ever again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that was my initial reaction.
So no, exactly, and like I said, that was Will Smith's highest and lowest moment in his career, all at the same time.
We promised Dan we're going to go quicker, so
that was no. I mean, these conversations are obviously, I think this is the point of the night that everyone was waiting for us to talk about. In fairness, there was only 2 awards left after this. This one was the one I
thought that was the end of.
This next one was the one I was hinging my entire ballot on all night because I was the only one who went different to. Oh no, Zach had gone with the same as me, but this was for. Here are the nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role: Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Yeah, so this was a great category which could have gone in any way. Nicole Kidman, of course, won the Golden Globe. There was, a lot of love, obviously, behind Jessica Chastain's performance and Tammy Faye. Olivia Colman, a lot of people love her after her win in 2019. Yes, 2019. No, she won in 2019. She returned in 2020 as well. To present the award. But then, yes, and then you had Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers. Not a lot of people had seen this film because it actually came out very late, and so in the award season, not a lot of people had seen it. But once people had started to see it, they really got behind Penelope Cruz's performance. A lot of people actually tipped Penelope Cruz to steal the night away from Jessica Chastain, but I just don't think enough people had seen it by the time it went. And then Kristen Stewart obviously gave a great performance in Spencer. Probably the only thing worth watching that film for is Kristen Stewart's performance. She is superb. I went with Penelope Cruz. Zach went with Penelope Cruz, and then Ray and Jonathan Chong went with Kristen Stewart for Spencer. Everybody else went with The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which allowed Rob to level up with me. Dan leveled up with me. Grace.
Adam, I just wanted to take this moment to thank you so much for picking Penelope.
Grace went 2 ahead, and Kimmy went ahead of me because she had all of the same picks as me, apart from this particular one, because if she'd gone and Kimmy did say she wanted to go with Penelope Cruz herself, but she saw that I did, and she was like, if I just go for that one, then every single pick that Adam's picked is the same. And
Kimmy, I wish you went with Adam. I wish you did.
Yeah, this was hard. I'd read Jessica Chastain was the fave, but I'd also read Penelope Cruz's performance was gaining a bit of momentum, so I was thinking she would steal it. I went with Kristen Stewart. I still can't believe Kristen Stewart was the actress that played Princess Diana.
I just don't like Kristen Stewart.
That.
Stacey, I agree.
Yeah. So, it was a great performance by Kristen Stewart in that film. But yes, unfortunately, Penelope Cruz didn't get it. I was hoping for a sneaky shock of the night steal there, which didn't happen. It did go to Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and her performance was superb. She was great.
I got to go rewatch that moment because it was a blur. It really was.
That whole moment was a complete blur.
The whole thing.
Yes, I will agree with that. And Penelope and Pedro are magic together, as Grace said. Exactly. Pedro always brings out the best performances from Penelope Cruz. So yeah, they are a dream team. It did not suck. It was a good performance. It's a bit predictable maybe, but that's about it. But it was a great performance.
It was like a bad soap opera. It sucked.
But the last award of the night, obviously the big one, and this was the one where it was like it come down to a 2-horse race. There are 10 films nominated, but it come down to one of the films with the fewest nominations versus the film with the most nominations. So here we go.
Here are the nominees for Best Picture.
Belfast.
Coda.
Don't Look Up.
Drive My Car.
Dune.
King Richard.
Licorice Pizza.
Nightmare Alley.
The Power of the Dog.
West Side Story.
I'm just trying to look. Wait, hold on. At this point, Power of the Dog just won one award, right?
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
How did Don't Look Up get nominated in Tick Tick Boom?
Who knows?
I don't know. And you could also argue for other films like House of Gucci, which I think a lot of people enjoyed. House of Gucci, a lot of people didn't. Rob's putting his thumb down there. I think House of Gucci,
the story was good. The actors.
It was the accents that maybe ruined it. The accents maybe ruined it and did it for that film.
Sorry.
So yeah, sorry, Daniel. I just caught you right in the yawn there. Nice. But yes, yeah. So Kimmy says, "Oh, sorry, this is just going back to the actress with her speech was brilliant, the best of the night." So yeah, I need to see that particular moment as well because I don't really remember the leading actress one. But
what is Dan doing?
But yes, what is Dan doing? Yeah, 10 films. It was the first time that there was 10 films in the Best Picture category in a decade. I thought it felt a lot.
Waste.
So Belfast obviously was an early front runner. Don't Look Up. Okay, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't a Best Picture nominee in my eyes. Drive My Car. I can see why it was nominated. Dune. I can see why it was nominated, but it wasn't. I mean, it didn't have directing or acting nods, so it was just a technically good film. King Richard, yeah, okay, I thought that was a very good film, actually. I know Dan wasn't a fan of it. Licorice Pizza, I enjoyed. Nightmare Alley, I enjoyed, but they were both also runs. The Power of the Dog was the masterpiece that kind of got nominated for everything. And then West Side Story, a great musical, great, vibrant, colorful musical. West Side Story, great cinematography.
It's a good movie.
Very, very well-known musical hits. And obviously Steven Spielberg is the director. But Coda, obviously only 3 nominations. But it had taken the first 2, obviously the supporting actor.
It had all the odds against it. That was the problem.
It had all the odds against it. It didn't have a directing nominee, which normally goes hand in hand synonymously with a Best Picture nominee. It didn't have cinematography or editing, so none of those technical ones.
It's a streaming movie. It didn't come out.
It's a streaming movie. Well, this is the thing. Netflix have been trying to win the Best Picture award. And they've had the most nominated picture 4 years on the bounce now. They had Power of the Dog with 12 this year. They had Mank with 10 last year, The Irishman the year before with 11, and then Roma the year before that, which joined with a favourite on 10 votes apiece. So Netflix has been the top voted film, the top nominated film, the last 4 years running. And they've been desperate to win this award. And only its second year in existence, Apple TV Plus comes along with Coda, which it bought after the Film Dance Festival. Coda had pre-sold in other territories already, and Apple TV Plus had to come and do some kill deal to buy out those pre-sales for other territories, and bought the film itself, and it's struck gold. It struck a masterpiece because Coda obviously took the award of the night. It was a big shot. This was like when La La Land lost to Moonlight. Everybody thought Power of the Dog was going to get this one.
Oh, what Liza Minnelli came out, and I'm like, all right, she read Coda. Is it a La La Land moment?
You genuinely feared for that. Yeah, Dan, you backed Coda on this one, didn't you? Yeah. You enjoyed Coda?
For me, it was the obvious pick for me.
It was.
There was no other film that I think would have won it.
It was for me. It was, and they kind of touched on this on the UK coverage on Sky TV. It was interesting to see how the Academy were going to vote. Are they going to acknowledge the achievement in filmmaking? Because if you're doing that, if you're acknowledging the achievement of filmmaking,
which they normally do,
then you vote with the Power of the Dog because it kind of ticked all those boxes, had all those nominations. But then in a time, we've had 2 very difficult years globally, that we're just coming out of. And Coda was that beautiful, funny and sad and emotional sort of all the feels, coming of age, wonderful story,
it was great.
Heartwarming story.
Yeah.
Which makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it does all, it just pulls on every heartstring you have. And it was easily my favorite of the 10 Best Picture nominees. Like it was,
me too,
it was
hands down.
such a beautiful.
It was my favorite movie of the whole 53 movies.
Yeah, period. And
I liked Spider-Man Far From Home more though.
and the sad reality is I said I predicted 19 right. I got 19 right. I did predict my amount I would get right, and I said I'm not picking Coda. I would want it to win so bad. I'm picking Power of the Dog just based on I'm a betting man. It won all the other awards, all the other things. It did really well in the award season. It had the most nominations. It was my least favorite of the 10. I still picked it like an idiot, and Coda won. So God bless you, Coda. Congratulations. And it is what it is. It's a win to me because I love the movie. And maybe I should have. I didn't go with my heart, like I said. I went with who I thought it was going to win. So.
And there we go. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let's see if we can.
I'm just going to say, because this is, I'm going to sign off now, but coming into this Academy Award season, I had one goal. And the goal was to beat Brandon.
I knew what it was. To beat Brandon. You did good this year.
That was my only goal. All I cared about was to beat Brandon.
It was worth the money, right?
And not only did I beat Brandon, I smashed him.
Nice. I'm proud of you, Dan.
So
Dan, you
very
other
proud
years you barely broke 10, I think, some other years or whatever.
Last year Dan didn't do great. He did beat Brandon, but last year Dan didn't do particularly great himself.
I'm glad that I came joint with Adam.
And you beat me too. You beat me too, Brandon. Congratulations.
So obviously,
I'm sorry, you beat Brandon, you beat Dan.
Yeah, 3 years I've won the trophy. There's my first one, my second one, and my third one at the back.
At least the trophy is not going to go very far.
I mean, well, this is the thing. So obviously, in reverse order, when it comes to the scores, we had Jim from More Sunshine, Please, finished on 9 out of 23. Then we had Disney Circus Girl Ray on 12 out of the 23. Next was Brandon, who, well, I've got 15 down, but actually, no, we've just talked about that. There was the one that was wrongly marked. So he got 16, along with Zach from Film Code Podcast. So Brandon and Zach both got 16 out of the 23. Jonathan Chung and Phoenix from Film Code Podcast. And thank you, Rob, for putting the Film Code link. It's in the chat. So go and check out the podcast, guys. Don't forget Brandon's Film Code Podcast. So it was great to have Phoenix and Zach in last night as well. So yeah, they got 18, Jonathan Chung and Phoenix. Then on 19 was in third place was this man right here. So well done, Rob.
I'll take it.
You predicted your 19.
Any other Oscar pool, people would have been amazed. Not this one. 19, forget that.
In joint second place was Dan and myself, both with 20.
Congratulations.
But our winners with 21 out of 23. Incredible. Well done.
Grace saw like 3 movies.
Grace. I saw 53. I saw everything this year, and I didn't win. I'm going to go back to not watching them all next year. I'm not going to burn myself.
Congratulations, Kimmy. Congratulations.
So Grace and Kimmy. So I'll hand this over to Kimmy. Kim, do you want to come in? She's in the other room right now, but she can.
Before she comes in, the 3 big winners.
She can accept this on behalf of Grace as well, and so Grace is at Kimmy Evans. Congratulations. So
congratulations, Kim.
Kim is excited. She's not coming through though. I mean, this maybe she's.
I can't hear you because I'm watching you in there.
You can't hear me because you're watching me. Oh yes, so okay, that's fine. So here she comes to accept the award on behalf of. So there we go.
Wait, we got to do this.
I'd like to thank the Academy. And
Kimmy, I just want to know, did you get sick from all that food? That's all. I'm sorry. Wait. Send her back.
Wait,
I interrupted her speech.
I need to go.
Go, Dan. Bye.
I'm half an hour. Bye bye.
Go, Rob.
Bye, buddy.
Well,
Good.
Rob was
Give the
trying to ask you
speech,
something
Kim.
about
Give the
food or
speech.
something like that.
What?
So
Give
Dan
the
has
speech.
gone.
She's got to give the speech. Dan had to go.
Yeah, Dan had to go. Bye, Dan. Thank you for coming in.
Bye, Dan.
It was great to actually get Dan in the award season.
No, bring Kimmy back.
Yeah.
I spoke over her speech. I'm sorry.
Kimmy.
Sorry.
Rob wants you to come and give a speech again because he spoke over your speech. Okay, she's coming back.
Her big moment. I'm sorry.
She's coming back. So
sorry.
yeah, 2 wrong. My best is 1 wrong. So one day I'll have a perfect ballot. Says Grace. Okay,
It's very
so
tough.
here's your speech moment. So okay.
So I hope Grace doesn't mind, but on that, we would like to thank the Academy for this very wonderful award. Actually, we don't need the Academy because we know what we're doing. Thank you and good night.
Nice. All right. I'm sorry. I talked
I tried to sneak it from her. I tried to take the award like someone tried to take.
He'll still present it with his. My thing. The 3 big winners. Obviously Dune winning 6 is amazing.
The dogs are very excited about this.
The other winner was Coda, of course, and I thought the third big winner was Chris Rock because no one was talking about him 2 days ago, and everyone's talking about him today. So
Yes. What was the next big winner? I mean, Coda took 3, Dune took 6. Was there anything else that took more than 1?
Nope.
And
that was my prediction. I said it was going to be spread out.
Tammy Faye took 2. Tammy Faye took 2 because it took makeup, and the only 2 that it was nominated for, makeup and actress.
Yep.
Obviously, King Richard.
But Adam, what did I say? It was going to be spread out thin between everyone, and it sure was. Come on.
Belfast, Cruella. Yeah, I think
predicted
Drive
19.
My Car. That's it. Yeah, so there's nothing else that took more than 1 award. Obviously, West Side Story just took the 1 with Ariana DeBose. So the only ones to take multiple were The Eyes of Tammy Faye with 2. Coda, which won all 3 that it was nominated for, and Dune, which won the 6 technical awards. But yes, so
all right. Good job. Thank you so much for a great season. Thank you, Adam. I do got to get going too. So
Rob didn't want to get slapped. So yeah.
Thanks.
But yes, so thanks to Brandon and the guys from Film Code for being with us. Thanks always to Rob, who's been my partner in crime for all this. Thanks to Dan for making it. I know he's struggled; he's been busy lately, but we're glad Dan could make it.
Sorry, we kept you so late
into this, and and apologies for keeping you so late. And thanks to everyone for watching tonight and joining us. It's been nearly 2 hours. It's been an hour and 53 minutes. So
shocker.
But yeah, award season done. Award season done. I did have another vlog to send live, but I'm just having some technical difficulties with getting it onto YouTube. It was my iconic moments of the last 10 years. Maybe I'll just save it for next year because I'm pretty sure there's another 1 or 2 iconic moments that you can throw in there now. So we'll see. But Oscars season tick. And like Rob said, maybe we'll do a stream where we can discuss some of the movies in more detail. What's worth watching, what's not worth watching. As a filmmaker, I will always say everything's worth watching. Whether you'll then want to watch it again or not, I don't know. Like I say, there's a few that I can do without seeing again. But there we go. So Rob, anything else to say or to plug? Or are you
nothing? RobFuz, go check me out. You guys
go check out
knows me.
Mr. Fuzz.
My link is below if you want. So.
Yeah. So Kim says I need to play music to cut Adam off next year.
Please, Kimmy. We went 50 minutes over, just like the Academy Award. No, we went longer than the Academy Awards. Our stream went 50.
We haven't. I mean, I didn't say it was going to be an hour. You said it was going to be an hour. I didn't say it was going to be an hour. So Rob says, I'm coming.
Go. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. Take care. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.